Hi guys, Shauna from Infinity Readings here. Um, Coming in to do the Sagittarius male single. And you know what? I'm just going to get right into it. This is for love, sex, and romance over the winter season. So we're talking about November, December, January, February, this time. So these are some of the videos that just didn't make the cut. The audio screwed up or whatever. So again, Sagittarius, male, single. These are for love blocks. So I'm just going to get right into it here. I want to get these done today. So the first card I got for the Sagittarian male is the Five of Wands. It's talking about his energy, what he's up to, what he's feeling, and this is a lot of energy, but in a riddled way. Like we're talking energy of fighting energy, that kind of stuff here. Five of Wands is usually people being in a mode ready to fight or defend, right? So there's a lot of energy here, but nowhere to put it. So the Sagittarian male single may be in a mode where he's got a lot of passionate energy, not in a good way, that's needing to go forward. Okay, next card we get is a Seven of Wands, which is amplifying that and giving an object. So we have all this passionate energy, again, not in a good way, almost in preparation for fighting. And it's starting to go against someone. So if we're talking about partnerships here, we are being very defensive against whoever's coming at us. So that is not good for business. Seven, the Chariot. That's the next card I got here. So that's about movement and taking action, and also about internal conflict. And I feel very much so for this male. It is his energy internally that is conflicted. He may be conflicted, having a hard time with bringing in partnerships that are there, keeping them, that kind of thing. So there's when you are internally conflicted on the inside, you really have to get that cleaned up before you can get a partner. So if you're getting a partner while you're in that conflicted mode, this is where all that action's going right into the relationship to sputter it out. So the next card we get is the Ace of Wands. Now, I feel like this is what's driving this male forward is passion. Well, it's obvious. It's all wands. It's all fire. It's all his element. But nonetheless, we have a lot of energy that wants to go forward, brute force, passion. We're talking, I feel this is on the sex side, wanting a partner for that, but not really having an open view of being open to anything else in that way. So be aware that energy might be causing the conflict you're not realizing. So we have a passionate sexual energy that wants to go forth. We may not have anything else to back it up with the partners we're seeking, or what have you. Or maybe that's some kind of an issue we need to deal with on our own. So a lot of energy here in conflict of energy inside him that's waiting to hit a target. And this here, hey, Carrie Ann, cool. So hopefully this makes sense. So all of this stuff here is really, it's that conflict of energy that he's holding inside and he's going outward with, but he's also in defense against people coming at him. It's going not bad. We'll have to catch up after, maybe tomorrow. So there is an object here that he's in defense of, and I feel like it's the back and forth of that fiery energy. So not really realizing, I think, on his end what he's contributing. And then here's, the movement and action. So there's action coming, there's arguing, there's a lot of energy going back and forth. So I feel like we'll see how the rest of the cards go here. That action could go in any way. But we have the Ace of Wands, which is really about, I feel like it's a sexual energy that this man is really, that's what's driving him forward in these relationships. So maybe he has to take a broader view of things outside of that in order to truly get forward without the conflict. Because I feel like he's conflicted, attracting conflict and going forward because he hasn't opened his blinders enough to accept anything other than the physical side here. So limited view, okay? So whew, a lot of power this man's holding at this point. So as we move in the next line here, we are going to start with a 5 of Swords. Man, that's a one-upping the 5 of Wands energy, basically. This is going out and settling scores, throwing someone under the bus, that kind of thing. So there's very much not only a conflict of within this Sagittarian male. Sorry, my son. Not only a conflict within the Sagittarian male, but very much conflict outside of him and very much doing damage in that way. So we're really making strides to cut people out of our circles and making progress in that way. So that's that action card, right? Coming to fruition here. Next card we get is the Knight of Pentacles, which is interesting. Because it's almost like we have to fight the battle and then we just slow right down and we go, wait a minute, we're processing. Oh, okay, that's too bad. So yeah, so there's like some conflict here. We had an argument, squabble, whatever, it's done with. And now we're slowing down and dealing with things at a slow, steady pace, okay? So yeah, it's almost like something came in and kind of stirred this man, either rerouted him or whatnot. Now the next card we get is the Devil card, 15. I'm gonna fixate on this for a minute. Yeah, I feel like that's the ego coming out. I feel like it's skipping over this card. This man's slowing down for some reason, but I don't feel like it has to do with the devil, that energy of being chained to something. I feel like this and this are connected, but this is different. But nonetheless, the Devil card is about addictions and things that we feel connected to, and this could very well be a relationship that we are kind of addicted to the process. May have a lot of fiery arguments and things going on in there, back and forth, this kind of energy. Okay, but somewhere in the midst here, there's a need or a want to slow down. This King of Pentacles brings a slower energy. Yeah, wanting to slow things down. So maybe there's a realization on the Sag male side here that he's really not making any headway. So he's going to slow things down before he cuts it. But again, I'm getting a thrown under the bus here. So the last card we get is the Sun. Boy, that's interesting. We have the Devil and the Sun right beside it. I'm going to figure this one out. Now, yeah, it's almost as if there's something to be gained from this process. Okay, I feel like it's almost an overpowering of this devil energy. Okay, there's something going on with, yeah, we're overpowering something. And I don't know to a degree if it's within our own selves that we're taming the beast or outside of us. And it might even be both at the same time. Okay, we might have a lot of stuff going on here and arguments and fiery things going everywhere. But nonetheless, this kind of tames things or gives him the keys to kind of deal with that energy that's out of control. We're going to dip more into things here as we go. Okay, so that's the second line. We're getting into the Lenormand cards, and that's kind of breaking up the energy in between the love and sex cards. So first card we get there is 21. That's about obstacles, climbing the mountain. There's huge barriers in our way, things that and I'm feeling a great frustration from this man. He's not able to get over the hump of all of these obstacles that are in his way. What's going on here? He's getting mad. His fiery temper's coming out because it's like these obstacles. I'm getting a sense like I've dealt with this before. I shouldn't have to deal with it. Like, why does this keep coming up? So a lot of times when you have that energy, it's because it's not been dealt with properly or thoroughly. We think we've put something away and, either one or partner or the other just doesn't get over it. So that it comes back up to the surface. The next card we get is 36. 36 is the cross, and that's about burdens to bear and sadness and grief and sorrow and things like this. So, you know, now knowing what I know here, hey, yeah, there's a sense here of something happening out of the blue with this card coming in the midst of all of that. It's kind of disconnected from the energy that I felt. And I feel the same thing here. There's obstacles I'm trying to defeat. Then all of a sudden we got grief, sadness, and burdens. Things out of the blue, like out of his energetic, like he's tromping forward in a certain direction trying to accomplish something, and then there's things going on that are sideways that he can't deal with, creating a lot of sadness, havoc, and that kind of thing. Next card I get is 19, the Tower. Now the Tower can be about boundaries and restrictions as well as government issues that are bigger things, right, than the mundane. Yeah, and this may be where our obstacles lie as well. Things that are creating burdens in a government kind of way. So we may have some legal issues here that we got to surpass or get over, or causing problems and grief and sorrow. Okay, burdening. That's one of the things here. Now, the last card we get in this row is 15, the Bear, which is a good card to have to end that row because it really is a force. The Bear is a force to be dealt with, and it powers through. It can also symbolize maternal figure in your life, a strong woman, like feminine figure, helping you forward, giving you power, and gaining you wisdom to gain that power. I feel like there is a maternal instinct here kicking in some way. Sideways we have someone, like I said, either we lean on for help to move us forward, or someone that comes in and literally helps us forward. That kind of an energy. So yeah, kind of something bigger than us is kind of burdening us. I'm not going to say taking us down, because the power in the end here is really bringing us, going to pull us forward. It's like it brings us down, but we got to get pulled forward out of it. And I feel like it's a slower process here. So kind of heavy energy there. The next row, we get into the romance side. So we'll see what's going on there. Now, the first card we get is the 5 of Coins. Now, the 5 of Coins. That's about, I mean, this guy's in the bar, he's in the pub, he's having a good old time. And I always say, we don't know if this is his wife or girlfriend. This could be the neighbor that he's hanging on to. But nonetheless, he's going out, socializing, and having a great time. And he doesn't really care too much about what other people think. As long as he's having fun, that's what matters. So that's kind of the energy of that card. Okay, so this is what this man, the mode he's in. Now, the next card, which is interesting, contradiction, is the 10 of Wands. Now, the 10 of Wands, a man is bending over, is trying to accommodate this woman, putting his best foot forward. That's really the title of the card. Now, this guy here, I wouldn't say he's putting his best foot forward. I think he's just going balls out. He's going to have fun, whatever pleases him. So in a way, because when I think about this, I feel like, suit and tie, he's coming up and he's going to introduce himself and being all on the 6. He's going to be dealing with stuff, politically correct, all of that. And I think the opposite of this. So somewhere here, this man is letting loose in one part of his life, and on another side, maybe with a new dating scenario type thing, putting his best foot forward and trying to straighten up his act. Okay, so he's loose with it, but he's also trying to impress someone. So in that sense, he's actually tightening up the tie and acting a little more like a gentleman than he normally does. And I got glare here. There we go. Okay, and the next card we get is the Sarcophagus. So here we go with, now this card can mean a death, a literal death in the family, the deep sorrow and sadness, and we're talking about someone that is at the foot of a sarcophagus. So this is the essence here. It's like we're going out and having a good time and we're finding a direction. All of a sudden, boom, something takes us off this pedestal that we're starting to climb on, okay? So it's looking a lot like the scenario here for you. So the next card we get is the Two of Coins. Now the Two of Coins is about, I always call it the cantankerous couple, but it's also about a couple that can act quite childish, you know. And when we're talking about the arguments and the energy that was in the beginning of the thing here, that would match up as well. Kind of an immature back and forth squabbling like kids in kindergarten, that kind of thing. And that's the essence here. So there may be some of you guys looking into a relationship or trying to get rid of a relationship and move into another one where we have a lot of squabbling going on. So it's kind of on the rocks, you know, but we're having an interest in something else, but not quite getting there. It's still squabbling with the one we have. And so we're kind of loosely going through that process. That's what I'm getting here. In the midst here is some heavy sadness coming in. It's some kind of a drastic thing that has happened in the life of the Sagittarian male that is not pleasant. It's really being felt on all levels, okay? So as we get into the sex side, we get the Eight of Swords. And the Eight of Swords is about, okay, we got a couple here, and then you got some sneaky behavior in the background. Now, the couple seem like they're together, but what's in the background? Could be someone looming on your relationship, okay? Could be someone looking after you or looking after your partner. That may be causing the squabbling, the partner not seeing it properly. I'm getting a sense of that. I'm getting a sense that the Sag male is really coming forth to say to his partner, look, someone likes you and you're playing into that, and the partner not realizing or downplaying it. So this may be causing a bit of interruption there, maybe one of the roots of the problems, okay? So somebody outside of the relationship is peeking in some kind of way, and it could be just a troublemaker, or it could be someone that is wanting in on the relationship, okay, in a physical sense. But nonetheless, the next card we get is 21, the World, and that is about cycles. In the bedroom, we're talking about endings that things coming full circle. So we may have this on the physical side of the relationship, and I have a sense here this man is engaged in the physical, meaning if we got an ending in the bedroom, the ending outside of the bedroom is going to come pretty quick after. So if we have some shady behavior, and again, I don't feel like anybody's crossed that line. I just feel like maybe flirting outside, given the wrong impression, da-da-da. But if we have a weak relationship, it might just be enough to bust it right apart. And then the 21 is basically the full circle. We've done all we can do here, and we need to move forward. And then the next card I get is the Three of Pentacles. You have the ability to move forward. I'll leave it open like that. But I feel like, yeah, this man, whatever the squabbling in that, it's not going to last much longer because he's losing his cool, and he's eventually just going to snap it. It doesn't have any stability for him is what I'm getting. And then the three, interestingly enough, the Three of Pentacles on the sex side is about absolutely enjoying everything that's going on there. We feel comfortable, cozy, homey with this person, and we're very comfortable in bed, and that's very pleasurable for us, right? Then the next card we get is the Knave of Wands. And the Knave of Wands is about that passion. Brings up this card. Absolutely, those two go together. The Knave and the Ace, that's indulging very passionately. Now it's interesting because the energy, now we're talking about a single here, so it just may be the essence of something past. This may be what this man is wanting, and this may be also what he's wanting to put his best foot forward for. He may be looking in a direction here. I feel like this is, if this happens, yeah, let me tune in here. Yeah, we're ending a cycle here because of some shady behavior. Valid or no is not the issue. This relationship has done its course, okay? Now the full circle is, now we got to realize what we learned from this as we move forward, and we want to have fun-loving passion in the bedroom. I feel highly from the beginning. That's what this man is after, a real connection in the bedroom. And if he doesn't find it, it just makes everything else harder for him. And this is what he's after now. Trying to figure out if he gets it. or if this is just what he can. Because I'm getting a sense this man can go two ways with this, or there's two ways this can go. Meaning, this man could come across someone. I feel like for some, there may be a connection that can be made, and he may even be working on it as we speak, or after the Christmas season here. And if he does, yeah, because I'm getting a split. There's some that are working on it already. They're going to have some success here. But the ones that are going after Christmas, I feel like they're going to be in a mode where they're very bitter, and they can have a high rate of not having it work out, not getting to the point where they want to get here. We may get into the bedroom, and then it just fizzles from there, because I get a sense that some of these, some of these Sag men are letting their anger take over, and there's no the temperament is just out of control, and therefore we attract a partner that's not sustainable, because we can't keep our temper under control, is what I'm getting. And the Knave of Wands is about the ability to do that for those that are working forward. Because for some reason, the ones that are got their sights set on something right now and are working to close in on that, I'm getting a feeling that they're going to be more successful. It may not be a long-term thing overall, but will be more successful than the ones that gain it after the new year, because there's something about a mood switch over that period of time from November, actually over the December month. So I don't know, maybe there's some planets that are freaking out. I don't know. I'm not an astrologer. I just know what I sense, and I feel flipping of energies. So I just explain that. So yeah, so that is the right to left. So I'm going to go up to down and see what else we can break apart with this. Some heavy energies and breaking apart of a relationship. Again, we're talking about a single, so that makes sense. But maybe not dealing with all of that, right? So the Five of Wands, that's about all that fiery temperament this man has inside. And I feel like he is very much raging inside and needing to deal with that in a more constructive way. I feel like it's coming out in a wrong way. In ways, he's destructing things he doesn't want to, meaning new relationships is coming out in that way, not in a good way. So the Five of Swords, that's throwing someone under the bus. Somebody gets put under the bus, tire treads and all. So that energy finds a outlet, a target. And it may well have been a partner, or just, maybe getting in a brawl with one of his buddies because he can't deal with things like that. It could go in any direction because he's pretty loaded with that fire energy. So the next card I got was 21, was the obstacles. And again, that energy that he's holding, all of that fiery passion, but again, passion for fighting, not for making love, right? All of that is going and creating some obstacles here that we have to overcome, okay? So that's that energy. And as we move into the romance, showing here, we could have a tendency to kind of blow off steam at the pub, right? And then just kind of whooping it up a little bit, being a little loose with it. But having fun, no less. It's a light card. And then on the sex side, we have the Eight of Swords. So that could be where the whole, rigmarole got started, with miscommunications, misunderstandings, or the lot. So yeah, we could have a situation here where we have shady behavior, and then it just gets out of control, right? Because we're having fun and not caring what anybody thinks. And if we have a partner on the sidelines, that's not going to go over well. So that basically broke that scenario down. And then we have the Seven of Wands for the next row here. And that's about being in defense against someone, and I'm getting it's the partner. They're defensive against things that's come up. And again, misunderstandings. So it could be either side of that, right? Knight of Pentacles. During this time of being in defense against a partner, something comes out of the blue. We got to slow things down. It's almost like we got to distract ourselves from where we were looking or what we were doing. And then it comes across with 36, which is Burdens. There's a burden upon us that slows us right down to a crawl, okay? And then on the love side, we have the 10 of Wands, which is about putting the best foot forward. Sorry, my mouse is clicking things. Putting your best foot forward. An introduction to a new partner, even though this is a 10, and sometimes I notice that I don't feel so highly that the 10 matters as much in that way. I mean, obviously we have an end and a beginning. We may be dating, but I feel like this is just, you know, an introduction forward to a new partner in that way. And then on the physicals, yeah, on the sex side, we get 21, which is symbolizing, yeah, we're going to go forward because we've come full circle in the past. And we're going to try and put a better foot forward, and hopefully we learned that lesson. So whenever I see the world come up, it's like we complete something, but did we learn the lesson and bring it forward? That's what I'm learning in my own life. So I think that's very relevant outward. Okay. Okay. Row 3, the Chariot, which was, I feel very highly about internal conflict, but we'll see what else comes up here. We have the Devil, so they're going right away drinking and driving. So be aware of this if you're doing this heavy duty stuff that's not conducive to good outcomes. Don't drink and drive, because that's kind of like what I'm getting here, dipping into the wrong side and making too much movement. Okay, next card, yeah, because it could lead to arrests, right? 19 is about the Tower. It's not traditional, it's Lenormand, so it's about big business, corporations, legal things. So yeah, be aware of that. Drinking and making sure you have rides to get home, period. 19, and then on top of that we get the 8 of Swords, and the 8 of Swords is about suffering as much as we can suffer when someone has died, feeling the depths of despair in that way. So something has a heavy emotional consequence here. That is, again, kind of a hiccup in the field here. And then we have the 3 of Pentacles. Kind of doesn't fit in this line very much, but nonetheless we could be going out and finding physical partners in that way that we are gravitating to. Okay, it's kind of groovy in the bedroom. Okay, and then the last line we have is the Ace. Sorry, I gotta scratch my nose. Ace of Wands. That's the passion and the fiery passion this man comes from. And again, I felt like that was sexual, highly driven. That is what is driving this man forward, plain and simple. Then the Sun, and they're going, yes, this is so good because we need something to garner us forward to get a mate, because we can't just sit in the sidelines. So this is what is driving this man. Now the next card is 15, which is the Power. And I feel in this line more so than before I felt a maternal instinct. I feel here, this is my power point and I'm going forward, and this is what I'm looking for. Now the next card brings in the Romance, which like I said, is childish behavior, because we have these 2 children, right? They're running these goats, and even goats that are leading them. Like, give me a break. That's kind of the attitude that I'm getting here, is that we're being led by goats to go off in any direction. They just eat what they want. They don't care. And then these kids, and if you look, I don't know if you can see it, but it's like the girl's going, get away, and the guy's trying to kiss her or hug her or something, and she's just, it's like they can't get along, right? So interesting energy. And then we have the Knave of Wands, so that's that sexual side again. This guy's looking for passion. He's going to end up having it in a few different directions, so that tells you something right there. But he just may not have the ability to deal with the emotional or the give and take side here. I feel like this man is somewhat not broadened his horizons in the romance coupling area. He's very limited to what he wants and gets, and that's it. And it's physical, and that's that. So until he kind of broadens his horizons that way, I don't feel that cantankerous stuff is going to go away. He's got to realize where it's limiting him, and I don't think he's seeing that at this point. So Hopefully. Oh man. Hopefully that helps him. I think he's gonna have a pretty powerful winter. But nonetheless, finishing a cycle and dipping into a few more is the sense I'm getting. So I'll quickly review here. Um, Give me a sec here to organize my cards. Um, yeah. So in the beginning, there was some kind of behavior here, sneaky behavior on an intimate level that was being distorted, I felt. And then there was a sense here that the male is kind of going out and he's not caring at this point how, but he wants to have fun, and that's he doesn't care what other people think. And they may be creating obstacles in doing that, and maybe even throwing people under the bus while he's going. And and then the Five of Wands, that passionate energy that is trying to come forward and deal with things. But I feel like it, yeah, well, they're saying he's taking it out on the people that deserve it, but he's going a little haywire, like he's going a little overboard. That's the sense they're getting me here. Then we have the World, which is that completion of a cycle here. We are single and we completed a cycle. We got to figure out the lessons there. Then the Ten of Wands, about putting your best foot forward in a new direction. 36 is about a heaviness that comes in the midst of all of this dating scenario. And then the Knight of Pentacles, it slows it down. All the sadness slows everything down. And then the Seven of Wands is about being defensive. And again, I'm getting, as I reverse it here, it's like whatever happened here in amongst everything is really creating his temper to, it's making his temper worse, actually. Instead of dealing with it in an emotional way, it's like he's getting fired up temperamentally, so, which isn't good. But then we have the Three of Pentacles, which is about being very comfortable with someone and happy and fun loving in the bedroom. So this is, I feel, is kind of like the dating scenario. We're coming across a partner here that we're connecting with in the bedroom. But again, I see it looping a few times here, so I don't feel it's anything that sticks. And then we have the Eighth of Sarcophagus, kind of really saying that we're going through a few levels here with this tragedy that's come, whatever big sadness and heaviness that's come. And then 19 is talking about, again, it could be legal situations going on, things that are bigger than we are. And then also has to do with boundaries and limitations. So you may have to look at yourself in that way. And then the Devil sits there kind of ominously saying, we got to watch what we're chained to here, that it doesn't help us self-destruct, right? You need to learn when to let things go, is what they said. And then the Seven, the Chariot, is about the internal struggle that I feel like he's not dealing with it constructively. So he has to find a way to get rid of all that energy. And it's not a hard thing to do when you're mad and angry. But they're saying he's kind of targeting the people that are making him mad, or, but he's just overblowing. He's not calming himself down when he deals with it. He just fires out, which is a fire trait. So, and then the last is the Knave of Wands, which is that passionate energy in the bedroom that he's looking for, and that's what he's after, and he gets it. The Two of Pentacles with the children, just symbolizing that we may be getting that, but we don't have the stamina to work it through because we're not dealing in a mature manner with these relationships. We're just literally looking for a fit in the bedroom, and everything else is kind of secondary. So then that causes problems. And then on top of that, we get the Bear, which is the powering. I don't care if I don't get along. I'm powering forward, looking for my perfect physical partner. And then the Sun is shining on that, because even though we may be doing things in what people may not consider a right way, we are going to learn. And that's what they're saying. And then and then again, the passion is in between the power of this man and the Sun of the universe going, oh, we have faith he will learn. And if he keeps going in this direction, it cannot stay the same. He will have to change. So it is highly aspected that the man go through this set of, what do you say, lessons in this way, because he will come out a better man in the end, no matter. So that is the reading for the Sag male single. Sorry, I got a lot of gas here. Okay, so for, yeah, for the winter of 2018 into 2019. Hopefully that helps you unblock some of your blocks. I will be right back, and I'm going to do the male couple, and then that is the end of my winter series. I've never had such an, I don't know, long grand opening for these videos, because this one didn't work. That one it wouldn't go through YouTube, whatever. So anyway, okay. Thanks for coming in. I will talk to you guys. I'm just going to post this, take a little break, and I'll be back to do the male couple Sagittarius. So take care, have fun, and be kind.